Hey everyone, and welcome back to Frankie's Cantonese Book Reviews. The book I'm going to be reviewing today is the Teach Yourself series textbook Get Started in Cantonese. This book retails for $48 and it can be purchased on Amazon.com as well as many other websites on the internet. When you buy this book, it comes in a box like this, and inside you get the book as well as an audio CD, which is good because you always need audio to back up what you've learned in Cantonese because Cantonese is a tonal language. Now, this book was written by a Miss Jacqueline Lam, so let's learn a little bit about Miss Lam. Jacqueline Lam, a fellow of the Institute of Linguistics, Jackie is now living in Cambridge after 14 years of teaching English at the Language Center of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, HKUST. She has been a language consultant since 2007, working as a language teacher and examiner for English, Cantonese, and Mandarin, a translator and an interpreter, an editor and a writer, and a tourist guide for organizations such as the Institute of Linguistics, the Foreign Office, Oxford University Press, Cambridge City Council, and Visit Cambridge. Now, for those of you who are listening carefully, you notice that she was an English teacher, not a Cantonese teacher. Now, after you've read this book, you've gone through this book and seen all the chapters and seen the countless errors that this book contains, you'll see that Miss Lam is highly unqualified to teach Cantonese. This book is full of errors which can be broken up into 7 main categories. Now, the most important is tonal errors. Now, learning a language like Cantonese, obviously, tone is paramount. It's very important. The tone has to be correct, or else the word that you're saying will not mean what you intend it to mean. So this book has tonal errors on nearly every page. Also, romanization is incorrect in some pages. Now, this book uses the Yale romanization system, more specifically the 6-tone Yale romanization system. Sometimes they romanize the word wrongly. Just completely wrong romanization. Like, for example, third floor, Sam Lao will be romanized as Sam Lo. Sam Lo. What's low? Low is a street, old, or I don't know. It's improper romanization. So a student will be like, oh yeah, she'll be in an elevator and say, okay, Sam Lo Mgoy. And the person will be like, what? They go, man, like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Also, even though this book uses the 6-tone Yale romanization system, sometimes it uses the 7-tone Yale romanization system. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe they copied words from Complete Cantonese, a Teach Yourself guide, which is another Teach Yourself series textbook that uses the 7-tone Yale system. I don't know. They just use them interchangeably. Okay, fine. Also, incorrect English translation. So sometimes they'll have a word and it will say literally, like for example, it'll say "nei hou ma," which literally means how are you? No, "nei hou ma" literally means you good, ma, and then you good, and then question particle. So if you're gonna write lit, then write down what it literally means. Wrong characters. There'll be characters in this textbook that use completely the wrong characters. And we're not talking about standardized or non-standardized characters. We're talking about the wrong character with a completely different meaning than what is intended. Also, they have words inside the dialogues that they don't even have in the vocabulary list. So you'll get to the dialogue and you'll be reading through it and be like, oh, what's this word mean? Oh, let me look at the vocabulary list. Oh, it's not there? Well, what does it mean? I don't know. Just poorly written. Okay. And it's not consistent. In the vocabulary list, they do have Cantonese Chinese characters. And sometimes the words will all be in bold typeface, and then all of a sudden there'll be one word that's in standard typeface. It won't be bold. Why is that? I don't know. It's not consistent. So those are the different errors in the textbook. Let me explain to you a little bit about how the textbook works, and then I can show you a few examples of those specific errors. So this book is broken up into 10 different chapters. I'll explain each chapter to you so you can get a better idea about what this book contains. Chapter 1, hello, which is basically saying hello and goodbye and stuff. Chapter 2, who am I? Say what you do for a living, say how old you are, talk about your family. Chapter 3, going shopping, asking how much things cost, shop for clothes, say numbers from 30 to 10,000. Then there's a review section. Chapter 4, where to go? Getting travel information, say the days of the week, ask and tell the time. Chapter 5, booking a hotel room, making a hotel booking, write down your name in Chinese characters, name the month of the year. Okay, is that proper English grammar? I don't know. Chapter 6, how to get there, ask for directions, give your address, ask how to get somewhere by public transport. That's very useful. Then there's another review section. Chapter 7, what shall we eat? Request basic food and drinks, order food in a restaurant. Chapter 8, what are your daily activities? Talk about your regular activities, say how often you do certain things, indicate when places open and close. Chapter 9, what did you do yesterday? Talk about past events, say what you like or dislike, and also give biographical information. Chapter 10, what are your plans tonight? Talk about future plans, arrange to meet someone, make invitations, accept and decline invitation. Then another review section, the answer key to the review sections, and then a Cantonese and English dictionary in the very end, which is 10 pages basically. that's how the book is broken up. I've just explained to you all the different chapters. A basic chapter will start with the name of the chapter, a little bit of information about what the chapter is going to talk about, and then they'll have a vocabulary list, which will have Cantonese characters, the romanization, and an English translation. Then there'll be a dialogue, and after the dialogue, there'll be questions about the dialogue, like the dialogue will talk about John. Also, what does John do for work? What's John's wife's name? Stuff like that. And then they'll explain some grammatical stuff, like, oh, what the verb, like, for example, the verb to be, 係. It'll say, okay, 我係美國人, 佢係中國人, I'm American, she is Chinese, something like this. Teach you how to use the word 係, or maybe the phrase 係唔係, 佢係唔係美國人, is she or he American? Something like this. The yes, no, like the positive, negative, is or is not, or, will you go or not go? 你去唔去? 你去唔去啊? Are you going to go or you're not going to go? Which means just basically, are you going to go? Kind of like a yes-no question, which is a way to ask questions in Cantonese. So now let me show you some examples of incorrect, one of the errors in the book. Let's show you chapter 2. That's a bit better. Here we go. Look at the headline. Now the chapter 2. 我係邊個? Who am I? If you can see there, the go, which is right here, is G-O-O and then the high tone mark. That's not right. That word should be G-O with no tone marker because it's tone 3. Go, not go. And G-O-O, I don't know what that is. There is no word in Cantonese that has 2 O's. So they must have misspelled that or they made some sort of error. I don't know what they did, but it's wrong. Here, 香港. That hung was incorrectly romanized, so I had to change it. You can see how I colored that in the tone marker there. I made sure it was right. What else? Let's see. Let's find some other errors. So there you see that it was incorrectly romanized and also incorrect tone. Here's another one. It's easy to point these ones out because these are like the headlines of each chapter. To go shopping. 行街買嘢. That's the proper way to pronounce it. But in the romanization, it says 行街買嘢, 行街買嘢. What does that mean? I don't know. 行 should be 行, 行. Tone 4. 街 should be tone 1, high tone with a high tone marker on top. 買 should be tone 5, the low rising tone. 買, not 買. 嘢 should be a rising tone as well. There's no tone markers here. That's incorrect. So the tones are all wrong. So you're learning how to speak Cantonese, but you're not learning the proper tones. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Here's another example. As you can see here, it says 係咁多. I'm reading the romanization here. In English translation, is that all? So I look at the characters. The character there is not 係, it's 係. 係 means in, at, or on. That's tone 2. That's the 係with the mouth radical on the side. That does not mean is or to be. The one I wrote in there, 係, is the word for is or to be. It has the man radical on the side. That's incorrect. So obviously they used the wrong character there. And if you notice, if you look carefully, this character is in standard typeface. It's not bold, but everything else is bold. And look at this one here as well. This team is also in standard typeface. It's not bolded. It's not in bold type. Why? I don't know. It's not consistent. There's no consistency there. Let me see if I can find an example of, here we go. This is another incorrect translation. I don't want you to think that these are the only errors. These errors happen several times. Now, if you look here, the second to last line, 你乖聲呢? I don't know why they add the ne there, but whatever. Let's just say it's there. 你乖聲呢? What is your name? Literally, you what name plus ne. That's not right. 乖聲 is not mean name. Sing is not name. It's last name. It's surname. And when they write literally, first of all, the word what is not in there. All right? It's not in there. This doesn't mean literally. Literally, there is not the word what there. Literally, it is you, honorable surname, ne. That's literally what it means, okay? But let's just say for the sake of argument, we can keep the what in there. So then it should be literally you what honorable surname plus ne. Next one, last line. 我姓李, I am Lee. Literally, I call Lee. No, call is not, that's not call, okay? Call is Gyu, all right? So it should be my surname Lee or I surname Lee if you want to be, picky, whatever. Let's follow the example they give you. And even then, if it says name is not sing, it's mang. So when you write literally, it has to mean literally. Like, for example, how are you? Ne ho ma literally means you good, ma plus question particle. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you can look here, okay? I mean, I'm not going to point out all these errors, but, you know, you can see here, I fixed this one, all right? There's another one here. Another one here. Over here, there's an audio error. The audio doesn't match what's written in the book. In the book, it says 多謝. In the audio, it says... in the audio, it says 多謝. In the book, it says 唔該. Or here in the one, it says...你叫咩名啊? 你叫咩名? And in the audio, it says 你叫乜名? Nobody will say 你叫乜名. It just sounds rude. It doesn't make sense. Either a non-native speaker made that, or someone who's just has no experience teaching Cantonese, no experience how to speak Cantonese. Here's another one. Even a simple thing as surnames, they have mistakes, like they romanize them incorrectly. This name is Choi, and it's incorrectly romanized, the wrong tone. This one here is Young, and it's pronounced as Jung. That's not right. It's romanized, not the way that it's pronounced. It's the romanization is incorrect. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes they spell, like, for example, Lee, like, my name is Lee. Lee in English is L-E-E, but in Cantonese it's Lee, Siu Long. Bruce Lee, Lei Siu Long. That's Lee, Lei. And Lei would be L-E-I with the rising tone. You know what I mean? Or L-E-I-H, because it's the low rising tone, but you get what I'm saying. But I mean, it's like every page. If you look at this book, if I open this book and I flip it, you can see, like, here's another one. This is the very beginning of the book. This is like the second page, not even into the book yet. They have two, you know, look at the first line. 你識唔識講英文啊? Do you speak English? They use 識唔識. 識 means to eat. Do you eat or not eat? And then 廣, I don't know what 廣 is supposed to mean here. 英文, do you eat or not eat Cantonese English? I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. The next line, 可唔可以? The yi is wrong. It should be yi, not yi. It doesn't make sense. And then here, you can see the ngõ is incorrectly romanized. It should be N-G-O-H, not N-O-G-H. The tone is right, but it's incorrectly spelled. And then here, they use guang again. It should be gong, not guang. You understand? It doesn't make sense. That's get yourself started in Cantonese, riddled with errors. Wrong tones. Romanization errors. Yale 6-tone Yale system versus a 7-tone Yale system. Which one are they using? I don't know. Incorrect English translation. Wrong characters. Use words in a dialogue that are not included in the vocabulary list. And finally, it's not consistent. Bold typeface, standard typeface, I don't know. I don't recommend anyone buys this book, honestly. It's very poorly written. Miss Jacqueline Lam, please, don't ever try to teach Cantonese again. If you're going to teach Cantonese, you're going to write a textbook, fine. I can understand. Get it proofread by professionals, because obviously you're not a professional in this field. That's the idea. You know, maybe you speak the language well, and I mean, to be honest, if they corrected all the errors that I just mentioned, the book would be very good. Content-wise, it's very useful. It uses a lot of useful vocabulary. Explanations and grammatical explanations are very good, but it's not there. This is barely a first draft, to be honest. This needs to be proofread several times, and some things need to be fixed before it could even be thought about being released. And this book is actually released in the market, and they actually paid $48 for this book. Give me a break, honestly. Like, this book isn't worth the paper that it was printed on. Anyone who uses this book to learn Cantonese is going to learn Cantonese the wrong way and going to have to relearn everything that they've already learned. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the book review, a thumbs down if you didn't. You can view my Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/Frankie P fan page. If you have any questions, post in the comments below or on my fan page. I'll answer them as soon as I have time. But then again, you know, I really dislike this textbook, honestly. I didn't even want to do a review, but I want to help people so that they won't waste their money on this damn book. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.